Hi there, I'm Coach Amy, Precision Nutrition Certified Nutrition Coach with Results Fitness, and the recipe I have for you today is meatball parmesan. Now this recipe can easily be doubled, tripled, quadrupled, especially if you like to batch cook and have large amounts on hand to eat throughout the week. The serving size for the amount we're going to be using today is going to make 8 servings, which is about 8 baseball-sized meatballs. So these are giant meatballs. All right, so to get started, you need 2 pounds of ground turkey, ground chicken, ground beef, whichever you prefer. I'm using ground turkey today. 2/3 cup of breadcrumbs. I'm actually going to use panko. 1/3 cup of grated Parmesan. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 eggs, some Italian seasoning, some salt, mozzarella cheese, and then eventually you're going to need a jar of marinara for the second step. So to get started, you're going to combine everything except for the marinara sauce and the mozzarella. That's everything that's going into the meatballs. So that's the turkey, the panko or breadcrumbs, whichever you use, the Parmesan cheese, tomato paste, Italian seasoning, eggs, and garlic. So we're going to put all of that into one big bowl. And again, these make massive meatballs. So nothing like a giant meatball. All right, so I'm going to add the panko. Again, you could use flavored or seasoned breadcrumbs, panko, your own breadcrumbs, whatever you like. Just helps keep this all sticking together. All right, and then I'm going to add 1/3 cup of Parmesan, which looks like that is exactly what I have left, so I planned that out right. Okay. And then 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Then I'll plop that right in too. And 2 cloves of garlic, but who's kidding? You know, there's like 5 or 6 in there. Some Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon is what you need. And then just a few shakes of salt. And then I'm going to crack my 2 eggs in there. So make sure you take off any rings, watches, anything like that, because this one does get messy. And especially if you're making large batches, you could pretty much get up to your elbows in here. So make sure you take care of that. I have been known to lose my wedding ring and things like meatballs, so getting a little better at it as time goes on. All right, and you just want to mix this really, really good. Again, we want to get everything incorporated to make sure these meatballs stick together. Then I'll show you my trick for making sure I get even serving sizes. So if you're somebody who measures, your portion sizes, or say, for instance, you're counting calories or whatnot, those serving sizes are going to matter because it will make a difference. So I will show you my little trick for making sure I get the same size meatballs, especially when you're making a large amount like this. And this turkey is super cold today, so my fingers are a little frozen. All right, that looks pretty good. So as you can see, everything's pretty much mixed in. So I already have my oven preheated to 350. I have a cookie sheet that I did a light spray of olive oil on just to make sure everything doesn't stick. So what I like to do from here, because this is a massive amount of meatballs, I just like to part it right down the middle. So this way I know, okay, that's half. So there's my 4 meatballs. And then I kind of divide in half one of those quarters, and then that leaves me with this giant fisted meatball that I have again. So again, one rule of thumb to watch with these two, they're going to be about a baseball size. So that's going to be about the size of 1 meatball. I'm going to place all 8 on the cookie sheet, and I'm going to bake these for about 50 to 55 minutes to get them cooked through. Once they're cooked through, then we're going to put them in a casserole dish and do the Parmesan portion. So hang tight. I'm going to pop these in the oven and I'll be right back. All right, I am back and ready to finish up the meatball Parmesan. So about 50 minutes is how long it took for the meatballs. As you could see, these are gigantic meatballs, my all-time favorite. All right, so I have 1 jar of marinara sauce. One of my favorites to use is the, probably pronouncing it wrong, I'm not sure, the Rouse brand. The reason I like this one, it does not contain added sugars. Spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce, that's a sneaky culprit when it comes to products that contain added sugar. This one does not. So if you're looking for a good brand to choose, I would recommend this one, if that's something that you're monitoring. Added sugars, your body processes it differently than the natural sugars, say in items such as, you know, fruits and whatnot. The added sugars are the sugars that, you know, can have an effect on your health. So just be very mindful of that. I just covered the meatballs in marinara sauce, and I'm just gonna top it with about 1/2 cup of mozzarella. Little more, a little less, you know, whatever your preference is. I think I have about a 1/2 cup left in here, so that's what we're gonna go with. My goal today while recording was to finish off as many random, you know, pieces, parts of packages that I had floating around in the house. So this was kind of a, you know, clean out the fridge and pantry recipe planning for this month. All right, so I'm just gonna pop this back in the oven for probably about 10 or 15 minutes. With the meatballs already being cooked through, I'm just looking for the cheese to melt and the marinara sauce to warm up. So you can certainly have this on its own if you wanna serve it with the side of pasta. I pulled out, this is one of my favorite pasta replacements. You know, I'm not a huge pasta eater myself, but you know, hearts of palm, if you wanna do spaghetti squash, this one is Hearts of Palm pasta from Trader Joe's. It's very similar to like a spaghetti squash. If you were looking for a little extra protein, you know, there are the alternative pastas such as black bean pastas, some that are made with chickpeas. Banza is a popular brand that you may see floating around in the grocery store. So plenty of options. And then a side of veggies, you know, this one I always tend to have broccoli on the side. So a lot of different things you can do with this. As always, I hope you enjoyed the recipe. You know, if you try it out, give me some feedback and let me know what you think, and have a fantastic day.